Anyone who drives, you know that there's multiple ways to get to a place. You turn left and then turn right. You can turn right and then turn left. You're going to end up at the same street, left or right, and boom. Right? Yeah? No? Right or left? Yeah, whatever. You understand what I'm saying. Hello and welcome to another Tea Time vlog. I'm T and I'm here. It's not like I've been gone or anything. I always say this, but yeah, just been doing some other things. But I'm here with an update on my life and some hopefully words of motivation / inspiration / me just saying to myself what I need to hear right now and being completely honest, or as honest as I can be. The first thing is I started football training again, which I'm super excited about. Currently at the University of West England, so practicing with Yui Billet. Shouts out to Coach Dan. We just started with some conditioning stuff. Nothing too serious, just like some fun football drills, just because there's a return to play kind of sheet that BAFA, that's the British American Football Association, that they've released. So you have to have a certain number of practices that are unpadded and then padded but limited contact, and then you can go into full practice. So we've just been going through those 2 weeks of that over the Easter break, and honestly it just felt good to be back on the field, to put some cleats on again, to catch a football. It's not my position, but even then, you know, it's just good to have like a little throw about and everything like that. So really excited to have been back in practice, and it's been going really well. My training that I've done up until that point, I feel like it's been really helpful, just getting me back up to fitness, as it were. But what I've realized, and people who play football will notice, the easiest way to get football fitness, the best way to get football fitness is by playing football. And every season I've played in, that first game, the first half of the first game, I'm literally just gasping for air. Like I'm trying to take up as much air as possible. My nostrils real wide. My mouth is just, it's a process, you know. I'm just trying to, but once you get past that first half of football, for me anyway, never had an issue, you know. Then you're just in game shape. Then all practices are easier because you're in game shape. So, you know, hoping to work back up to that. We did this exercise. So we did like a core circuit. But one thing that they do is you have a turkey neck. So the whole time you're doing the core circuit, your chin has to be touching your chest. And it's the most painful thing I have ever done. Honestly, I didn't even know that I had the muscles to do that. But for the next day, I thought I had just done my neck. That was it. Done with sports, nothing else. Just because I found it really difficult to sleep that night. I had to go get ice to put on my neck. I was worried, thinking, I need to go find the nearest hospital because I am done out. This is, whew. But made it through that week. And yeah, the strength and conditioning side has been really good through the team. Coach Adam, shouts out to you. I really like his program just because he works on the little things. So it's all about like the little movements, how your stabilizer muscles doing. You know, it's all well and good if you can put 200 kilos on your back and go down and back up, but are you doing it with the correct form? Is your back arching? Are you hinging at the hip rather than just being able to travel straight down, chest up, and travel back up? And he's really good at those details, and it's actually been really helpful. And I also started with another strength and conditioning coach. Shouts out to Coach Jack Tyler from JT Performance. You can find him on Instagram at JT Performance __. Find it. But I would see people like share his posts, and certain things that he would say are just like common sense stuff. So one of the interesting posts, and I think the post that kind of tipped me over the edge, I have really poor ankle flexion, or dorsiflexion as it were. And I saw a post, or just on Instagram from his page, somebody had shared it, and the post said, it's the change my mind guy, where he just got like a board on front of the table and, you know, inviting people to come discuss with him, and he's got a mug of whatever he's drinking. And the post said something like, the best exercise for ankle flexion or dorsiflexion is calf raises, full range calf raises, weighted calf raises. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, if I want my ankle to do that, if I load it up with weight and just kind of force it into that position, well, not force, but you know, I'm building up the strength to be able to go all the way down, like past flat, so my heel would do that, and then all the way back up and keep doing that. at some point, is it not just gonna like lengthen the ligament? I don't know enough about the human body to know that to be a complete fact, but it made sense in my mind. So I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So currently I'm working with Coach Jack to get me stronger, faster, more powerful, more explosive, and just an overall better athlete. So far, so good. As you may or may not know, my main thing has been I'm trying to get to a specific goal, my weight goal, right? That is 115 kilos with less than 25% body fat, I believe it was. Basically, just trying to be a lean, athletic, 115 kilo guy at 6'3". It's going to be great for me if I'm not for American football. It's going to be great for after American football because I plan to continue to do sports. I plan to try as many sports as possible. In fact, I enjoy sports. I enjoy fitness, but also, just things like going for a run. There's less pain the lighter I am. Not that I feel pain right now, but just the lighter you are, it's less effort. At some point, contact sports will not be a thing for me, and maybe I'll try some racket sports, but just the run, I really enjoy running. So that's something that I would want to keep on going, and making sure I am in a really good place athletically. My body is able to do the things that I want my body to do is one of my goals. I am not as young as I look. I know I look about 18. No, I'm lying. I'm 29. I'm about to be 30 next year. So for me, I guess my main goal is really just to have the body that I want by time I'm 30, that whole kind of year. And I understand this is a long process, and I'm doing my best to be patient about it. But yeah, I want to kind of hit my goal at 30. So at least for the next 10 years, I'm able to continue doing sports. I enjoy being a couch potato. I enjoy cake. Jaffa cake is a biscuit. And those things will work counter to my fitness goals in general. So I'm just putting in the work so that I can just chill on the sofa, so that I can eat certain things and not have to think about it so much. In terms of running, which big fan of, I have struggled, and it kind of leads me to the point that I want to talk about today. So I want to talk about disappointment, failures, and adapting the process, right? But being stubborn with your goal. Once again, as you may or may not know, I picked up running last year, kind of got good at it in that I could run quite a far distance. Times weren't great, the pace wasn't great in terms of, obviously nowhere near like world-class level, but just like your standard person, it just seemed like everybody could go out and run a 5K in under 30 minutes. That will take a lot for me to do. The best time I ever had was like 32 minutes and I was moving. It just was perfect conditions, perfect day, perfect everything. November, I believe I had the family challenge. I ended up with 160 kilometers run, and things just kind of went downhill from there. I started to feel a lot more tightness in my hamstrings. I started to feel a lot more tightness in my lower back, my calves, my Achilles. Well, my Achilles, is it a tendon? Whatever it is between your heel and your calf, started to be really tight, and I'll start running and it just would start hurting almost immediately. With that, I started the whole takeaway thing again, and did I enjoy myself? Yes, but now my shirts are fitting a little tighter again. I've put on some of the weight that I lost, which is not my goal. That's not where I was hoping to be. I'm not like kicking myself for it. Like I said, I had a good time. A lot of it was social, but as it got colder, the running got harder, and I wasn't being as diligent as I had been in the summer when it came to the food in my body. I moved to Bristol in January, and I used the move, the displacement, the new surroundings as an excuse to not get back on track. In fact, I was extremely complacent with it. I kept saying, I know what I'm doing, so I'll do it at some point. I know what I'm doing, so I'll do it at some point. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not ashamed to say that, because I've had to go back and watch my old videos to be like, bro, if this is important to you, you need to make time for it. You need to prioritize it. So, I kind of just tried to force myself to run, and it just wasn't coming. It wasn't as fluid, and I was putting on weight. It didn't help that I was using a broken scale. So I thought I was a certain weight. I thought I was in the 120s, but I was pushing 130. Bearing in mind that my lowest that I hit was 118. I never went below 118. So we're working on the way back down. Like I said, I'm working with essentially 2 strength and conditioning coaches. But one is, like to say, one is for the little things at the moment and one is for the big things. I see it as a failure though. I know might not be the biggest deal in the world. I don't think that I'm super unhealthy. In the time that I've been working with Coach Jack, I've actually gotten stronger. My squat has gone up, my deadlift has gone up, my cleans have gone up, my bench has gone up. Doing a lot of plyometric stuff, agility, mobility, a lot of stopping and starting, which all translate into my sport. The more force I can put through my knees, the better in terms of being able to stop and change direction, doing plyometrics, landing on my knees so that my body gets used to it. But also if I can trim down, that makes that process a whole lot easier as well. So we're working still. Because I found the running so hard coming into January, February, even March, I had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate. T, maybe you're not the same person, you're not the same runner that you were in November, October, September, August. Your schedule has changed, your diet has changed, although for the worse in this particular example. Your surroundings have changed, your everything kind of changed. And some of it I used as an excuse to kind of binge and I was complacent, very lazy, which once again, I'm not ashamed to say because it's just the truth. But when it came to the running, I just kept finding it harder and harder and harder. And it was almost like I was all the way back in May and June. The first times I was running, it's like my body just hurts when I run. So took a step back. I actually had a chat with my guy Marty, the person who got me into running, and adjusted. So started doing a lot more intervals. My thought process is, if I do interval training, it gets the heart rate up in a similar way, I guess. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Maybe I can hit that kind of like weight loss zone a lot easier. So I started doing a lot more interval training, and it's helping me kind of get back towards those longer distances, but I really enjoy them also. And Nike Run Club still, they have guided runs. So they have like long guided runs, they have shorter distance, shorter times, some mindfulness runs. But the ones that I'm paying attention to right now is the speed runs. So you have tempo runs in there, you also have interval training and just straight up speed runs. The interval training I love. So they have one of these that is it's called 60. So you have a warm up, then you run at your 5K pace for 60 seconds, you have a minute off. 5K pace, 60 seconds, you have a minute off. You run a total of 11 60s at your 5K pace. I have found those a lot easier while still getting not exactly the same work as running a 5K or a 10K, but I found those a lot easier in terms of trying to achieve my goal. I've also been doing a lot more different kinds of exercise. I have access to gym equipment. So whilst I wasn't running as much, I was able to go and start lifting again, which, like I said, I've gotten stronger, I feel more powerful, and to a certain degree, I feel more athletic because I'm doing the field work now as well. But like I said, even getting to that point, I feel like I failed my goal. And like I've said before, if you feel like you failed, you've fallen off the train, you've taken some time off, you need to just get back on the train, which is what I'm attempting to do. But that doesn't change how I feel about me not hitting my goal, me getting further away from my goal instead of getting closer to my goal, me being disappointed with myself and my actions and my lack of discipline at certain times, just kind of indulging in things that weren't necessary. And this isn't to say that, like I said, eat whatever you want, you just have to, everything in excess is bad for you. So me eating a whole sleeve of Jaffa cakes, it tastes amazing, but it's not great for the goal that I'm trying to reach. So right now I feel like I'm back on the train. I've been able to kind of maintain a steady weight whilst getting stronger. So the aim now is to do a bit more conditioning, more interval training, so that I can shed some of the pounds that I put back on. Also, I needed someone for accountability, which is why I reached out to Coach Jack. I needed that extra push. I feel like it's working to a certain degree. We have check-ins regularly every week, and it was an attempt for me to change my approach. So I'm still stubborn with my goal. I still know what my goal is. I reflect on that almost daily. I give myself a reality check. Where are we? What is my goal? Is that goal still my goal? And my goal has stayed the same, so I'm real stubborn with it. I'm gonna get to my goal. But I had to change my approach I had to adapt. I had to be flexible. I can't run the same way I was running 4, 5, 6 months ago, which is a pain in my backside, but how can I adapt? Okay, I need to go get a coach. I need outside help. I can't make this program for myself. I need somebody to kind of give me that extra bit of accountability. I need someone that I can talk to, can give me a bit of advice, can give me a bit of guidance. Where, I could Google all of this stuff, and I've had good programs in the past that I've just pulled from the internet. I've had good programs that I have sorted for myself. The running was basically like I had a lot of help from Marley, but for the most part, it was just me going outside and running. There was no plan to it. There was no program. So I know that I'm capable of doing these things, but I needed to be flexible with my approach, because once my schedule changed, once my discipline was on the rocks, the same approach wouldn't work. I found that I was running the 5K, the 10K, and the time was just getting slower and slower and slower when it's supposed to get faster and faster and faster. It's important for you to be stubborn with your goals, because if you want something, you want something. You shouldn't have to compromise just because it's hard. You shouldn't have to compromise because it's not working exactly how you need it to work. However, you should be more than willing to adapt your approach. Adapt the process. Okay, I still want this goal, but the way I'm working for something, it's not going the way I need it to go. Definition for insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you are trying to, let's say, increase your bench, right? And you only go in and bench exactly the same way. There is no accessory work. You're not trying to work on the different, like say for instance, your sticking point is right at the very bottom. What exercises can you do to just improve that movement right there? If it's right at the top, are you doing like block bench press? Different things like that, about adapting, just changing how you do certain things. So like I said, for me with the running, at the moment, I cannot long distance run. 5K is tough. It is a solid trudge. But the intervals are things that I can do at that 5K pace that I know I'm capable of. So yeah, man, it's really all I kind of wanted to talk about. Just, we experience disappointment quite frequently, to be honest, and we may even fail, but those failures, those disappointments, they shouldn't really deter you from your goal. They might just be a point that you reflect on and you say, all right, I need to change how I'm going about this, because this way right now isn't working. And the thing is, that process may have worked in the past, but that's okay to just change it up a bit, to say, all right, let's go about this a different way. Okay, I need some help. Let me reach out to an actual coach. Okay, my body isn't responding as well as it was to this particular form of exercise because my diet, I've changed my diet, I'm not as diligent. Okay, well, you have options, okay, how can we get back to being diligent with our diet? Or how can we get back to being diligent with our diet, as well as let me change how I'm doing this exercise so that my body is more compliant, it's better for my body, and we can still work towards the same goal, just taking a different route, basically. Anyone who drives, that there's multiple ways to get to a place. You turn left and then turn right. You can turn right and then turn left. You're going to end up at the same street, left or right, and boom. Right? Yeah? No? Right or left? Yeah, whatever. You understand what I'm saying. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who sticks with me and rocks with me. I am doing entirely too much on the internet, but I enjoy it, so we're gonna keep on going. I have a sports podcast with my guy Joey. It's Sports Casuals with Tito and Joey. You can find that on Stereo if you just search "Is That Tito?" ISTHATTITO. You'll find it there. I'm pretty sure you can probably search Sports Casuals as well. That podcast is also available on Spotify, Anchor, and it takes time, but Spotify and Anchor is for sure there. That's Sports Casuals. We have a few episodes that we're putting up, but we generally have at least one show every week. You can listen to it live and get involved in the conversation on Stereo. Also, my Instagram is that Tito. That's ISTHATTITO. I have a reel that currently is sitting at 250,000 views. I didn't know that many people like Jaffa Cakes, to be honest, but here we are. So yeah, there's some funny stuff over there, some stuff that you can go enjoy. My YouTube channel, if you haven't already subscribed, I'm pretty sure you're watching this on YouTube, but Tea Time Media, that's TI space TIME space MEDIA. Go subscribe, watch some older videos, motivation, inspiration, me trying my best to be honest and me trying my best to be funny. It happens sometimes. Outside of that, do I have anything else? No, I don't. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Deuces. Oh, and if I can do it, you can do it too.